Hi, this is Flair from Bloodcraft. I'm going to talk through Gluth, the third boss in the Abomination wing of Naxx. So you'll notice that first of all, before we're running to Gluth, we're going through this poison tunnel. Now it does a little bit of damage. I think it does about sort of 400 damage a second as you're running through. And you'll have noticed that there were some holes in the side of that, so you need to make sure you keep to the right hand side of that tunnel. As soon as we drop down there, you'll notice that Gluth, the big doggy, is there, and you can hardly see him because he's quite huge. So you have to make sure that the first person to drop down there is the tank, then the off-tank, and then the rest of your classes. Now the way that we're doing this here is we've got Nyx, one of our mages, and Mech, one of our paladins. They're off-tanking the zombie chow. You may have seen a couple of them as I ran in. I'm not sure if any had spawned by that time, but I'll come back to them in a minute. The first thing I'm going to talk about Gluth is the fact that this is a pure race, a DPS race. So you need to make sure that he's killed before he enrages. I think it's about 6 minutes before he properly enrages. If he does that, you're going to wipe. He does like 7,000% damage and will just eat tanks. There's some of the zombies there. You can see them being kited, being crowd controlled by Nyx the mage behind me. Now those zombies have something like 500,000 health points each. You're not going to be able to nuke them down. You've just got to ignore them. You've got to give them the run around. You see that I just bashed one off a healer just then, took a little bit of aggro. But yeah, now they're being picked up. So why is the zombie chow important? Why are we worrying about that? Well, Gluth will do something called a decimate attack, and what the decimate attack will do is reduce everyone in the raid's health to 5%, and in fact he's going to do one not too long from now, in about 10 seconds. What you'll see is everyone's health is going to go down to 5%, so you need a dedicated healer on the tanks, because Gluth does hit hard. He's going to start smashing your tanks down, and I think the decimate's coming up now. What you'll also notice is that all of the zombie chow's health goes down as well, and they'll start walking toward Gluth. Every zombie that hits Gluth will restore 5% of his health, so you need to make sure that as few, ideally none, of those zombies ever reach him. And you can see that we're AoEing him down. We're doing all of our AoE attacks that we have. It's a huge mana burn, you know, in priests and druids. I don't know about other classes, but it takes a lot of our mana away from us. We've just got to do it. And after the decimate phase is over, you'll notice, because you've got some full health zombies now running around, we continue on. It's the end of that phase. We continue to DPS Gluth down. Talking very quickly about the tanks, Gluth puts a stacking debuff. I think it's once every 15 seconds he sticks a debuff on the main tank. What this debuff does is it reduces the healing that they can receive by 10%, and it stacks up to 10 times, so ultimately the tank becomes unhealable after 10 stacks of this. So the off tank and the main tank need to switch whenever the debuff gets too high, and you might see some of the raid warnings saying switch, switch. Between the two of them. Here you go, take it, in fact, is the raid warning. The reason they're saying that is that the stacks become too much, so the off tank needs to taunt the aggro off of Gluth, tank him until the aggro is back down again, and just switch back and forth like that. Okay, well that's pretty much Gluth. Just a couple of other comments. The people that are kiting the zombies need to make sure they're kited way back at the back of the room. I've just rotated the camera there. You can see that the zombies now are walking toward Gluth. There's not a decimate on yet. It should be any second. We may have got them a little bit too close to Gluth in this instance. But nevertheless, they need to be AoE'd down, as I said. They need to be kept as far away from him as possible. If your kite does die and you're lucky enough to have druids in your group, then absolutely battle res them or start kiting them. The danger you're going to have is you're going to start losing DPS on Gluth, and as I say, this is a DPS race, so you need to be careful there. You can see that in a little bit I'm going to go and have to battle res one of the kiters, and the off tank, in fact, who's a druid, is also going to battle res one of them. It didn't matter though, we were successful. This was our second try as a raid group. So anyway, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the encounter, and if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the forum. Thank you very much.